Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today I have two awesome Kizer knives sent to me by Mojave Outdoors, and I have a discount code down below with a link to Mojave Outdoors. So if you were looking for a Kizer, go check them out. The top one is the Kizer Roach Vanguard in Micarta. Comes in at $81. The bottom is the Kizer Splinter Vanguard in Micarta. Comes in at $72. Let's move the Splinter out of the way for a second. Talk about the Kizer Roach. The Roach is a Matt Degnan design, and one that I passed on in the beginning, but the Micarta spiced it up enough for me to want to try this one out. Let's get some specs out of the way. You have a total length of 8 1/4 inches. You have a blade length of 3 1/2 inches. You have a grip area from here to here of 3 3/4 inch, or in the choked up position at 5 inches. You have a blade stock thickness of 0.127 inches. Up behind the edge thickness on this particular knife at 20 thousandths with 22 degrees per side edge bevel. So let's take a close look at this. You have this nice broad drop point blade with a high flat grind, and I'm just going to say this thing performed excellently. It's sliced like a champion. You have a very needle-like point right there for piercing. You're definitely not going to want to do any prying or twisting with that. You could possibly snap it off. I love the fact that it has this full-on forward finger troll right there, and the forward finger troll coupled with this and this right here, it is such an ergonomic grip right there. In the cutting that I did in the cardboard, it was excellent. I kept going back to this one. Just an overall ergonomic dream in the forward finger troll area. Blade steel on this is N690. N690 is a stainless steel. It's a good budget steel. This one held the edge really nicely. I couldn't really complain at the price point. Even in this choked back position right here, it's very comfortable as well because my pinky lays in this little spot. You got this wide area for these two, and the way this contours, it's perfect for the hand. I mean, really, really comfortable. I mean, I didn't use a knife that often this far back, but every other way that I held it, it was very comfortable. Only way that wasn't super comfortable is the reverse grip right here, mainly because you have this wide, dip right here in the scales. Just hard to hold it without this digging into the palm. No jimping up top, not needed. Close it up. The action on this thing is very, very nice, and the flipper tab is designed well. Doesn't hurt to flip it. Do have some jumps on that flipper tab to give you some traction, and a large flipper tab that is easy to flip. Very, very snappy action. Very crisp break on that detent. If you can see it's put pressure, and then once it breaks, it just throws that heavier blade around. The momentum just thwacking it open. The detent is on the stronger side, but it doesn't hurt or anything to flip. Comes out with authority, and I noticed it's gotten a lot easier since the day I got it. I noticed Kaiser's been doing their detents a little stronger these days. The action is nice and smooth on ceramic bearings and a ceramic detent. You have contoured micarta scales. This is black canvas. You can also get in green, I think. You have black coated pivot and hardware. All of it's T8. The only thing that's T6 is the pocket clip screws. They are countersunk into this deep carry pocket clip that is tip up right hand carry only. You got excellent blade to handle ratio, pretty much 1-to-1. You're not going to come in contact in the closed position in any direction. Flow through construction. You have some internal milling pockets right there. Let's see if I can show you that. As you can see, they got some internal milling in there to reduce the weight. It's a broad knife. It's going to take up a lot of room in the pocket. but you should know that going into it. And it's been a joy to carry. It carries well. I didn't have any problems going in and out of the pocket. Let me grab my pants so you can see what it looks like in the pocket. Oop. Okay, there you go. So not much sticking out, and it hugs this side of the pocket. Comes out nicely. You're gonna feel it in your pocket, but it's not cumbersome, I don't think. Overall, I like the way it looks. The micarta is grippy, comfortable because it is contoured, and carries also nice as well. Nitpicks Complaints. Like I said, the detent's a little strong. You do have good lockup though, 40% lockup, not moving whatsoever. No up and down, no left to right at all. It's a beast of a knife. Only thing else is the price tag. It's, it's not outrageously priced. The sheepdog's around this price as well, but the sheepdog does have 154 cm, so that's the only thing I would have much rather see on this. Even though I can't complain, this thing did perform nicely, and it sliced very, very nicely as well. So overall, I think it's a good buy if you're looking for a nice, beast of a knife, good slicer, comfortable in hand. One that you can choke up on. You can do some nice piercing type task, opening up bags and stuff like that. Excellent knife for that with an excellent action. It would have been awesome to see a thumb stud on this knife. Might have to just add one. So that is the Kizer Knives Roach. Now let's check out the Kizer Knives Splinter. This is a Tomcat Knives design. So just an excellent low profile gentleman's EDC with, that minimal footprint. And let's get some specs. You got a 7.5 inch overall length, a 3.35 inch blade, a 3.5 inch grip area, a 0.109 inch stock, so nice and thin stock. You have 20 thousandths behind the edge, sharpened at 24 degrees per side. You do have a full flat grind on here. It's kind of like a harpoon Warncliffe, modified Warncliffe, drop point, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a nice looking knife. I love that nice top swedge, and you get another needle-like point for piercing. The action on this one is outstanding. Definitely a fidgety knife. Once this one broke in, it became very, very easy to open and close. This one is also in N690. It's a decent budget steel. There you go. That's the billboards on here. Close it up. You're riding on ceramic bearings and a ceramic detent. The detent's dialed in for a nice snappy action. You don't have any jimping on top, and you do not have any jimping on the flipper tab, but see how it's got that flat spot right there? That's pretty much how you deploy the knife comfortably and easily. I can also easily deploy it left-handed and disengage it left-handed as well. Speaking of lefties, your pocket clip is deep carry, left or right, tip up only. So, this would be a good one to carry in that left-hand pocket as well, because you don't have a big flipper tab, catching anything. You have the contoured micarta, green micarta scales on this, the American canvas micarta. As you can see, you have like a reptilian pattern cut into the micarta, nice and grippy. They didn't polish it to where it would be a little slick in the hands. It's nice and grippy. T8 pivot, T8 hardware on this, T6 clip screws. They are countersunk, and it is a deep carry, like I said before. Excellent blade to handle ratio. That tip comes all the way to the end, pretty much 1-to-1. Perfectly centered blade, flow through construction. Skeletonized stainless steel liners. Your lockup is sitting at about 40 to 50%. solid up and down, solid left to right, but I can get some flex just because of the thin nature of this knife. I can flex it if I wanted to. I would definitely say this is a light duty EDC knife. If you're, somebody who is cutting thick rubber tires or doing a lot of wood shaving and anything like that, this might not be the knife for you. It was excellent going through the boxes. That tip was perfect. I puncture the box and pull up like that. Very comfortable. This grip right here, pulling up like that and to you, was nice and comfortable. The saber grip was fairly comfortable. One thing to note, when I was doing the wood shaving with this knife and I was squeezing onto the handle to try to keep this handle from spinning in my hands because it's very skinny and it gets even narrower at the butt of the knife. But this pocket clip being all the way to the bottom like that, when I was squeezing it, it did create somewhat of a hot spot. But like I said, that's not usually a task you'd be doing with this knife, so it's not that big of a deal. Aesthetics, yeah, I already talked about it. Carry, it rides really nicely, very low profile. You pretty much lose it in the pocket because it hugs the side of the pocket, and that deep carry clip pretty much makes it disappear, and that low profile flipper tab keeps it out of the way of the hand when you're sticking your hand in the pocket. Nitpicks complaints on the Splinter. For me, that's a pretty ugly edge termination right there. You already got a pretty wicked smile toward the back right there, as you can see. I wish they would at least clear that plunge line. It would have looked a lot cleaner and it would have looked a lot better after your first sharpening. Second, I already talked about the clip giving me a somewhat of a hot spot doing, high pressure cutting. When you're bearing down, it's going to fatigue the hand because of the skinny scales and the skinny nature of the knife. Other than that, if none of those are deal breakers for y'all, I think it's a nice office style carry knife or discreet carry knife. You could even use it in a self-defense type manner, I'm sure, if you would like to. You also do have easy access to that lock bar, just like on the Roach. Both of those did nicely in that department. So there's the two I had for y'all today. Let me know how y'all liked this type, the way I had this set up. I wanted to get these two done because I've had these on the review table for a little while now. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about either one of these, leave it down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.